Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Ryan and Rob in Wrexham, where today we are taking on Manchester United and Leicester City in the Premier League. The United game is at home, the Leicester game is away, and as you can see, we've actually started the season very well. Admittedly, we've not played anyone that's particularly high up, really. I think, in fact, have all the teams we've played been in the bottom half now? Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Watford. Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolves, Watford, Chelsea, Leeds. So everyone we played basically is in the bottom half. So maybe they've just had bad starts to the season and we've just taken advantage of that. But we've still been very good. So if we have a quick look at all of this. So obviously you saw the Leeds 2-0 win. We then drew 1-1 with Chelsea, with Havertz scoring an absolute screamer and then Colm Whelan sneaking in, taking it off a Chelsea defender and then scoring in a 1v1. We then beat Southampton 2-0 with Hansen Aaron and Garnacho getting the goals. Against Watford, we were 0-0 until the very end of the game, and Garnacho got sent off really early, which put us on the back foot a little bit, but we did actually still have the better chances in the end. And we won with a 90th minute goal from Ivan Dont, who you've never seen before. So we'll show you him in a moment. Then we lost 1-0 to Wolves, despite the fact we were much better than them throughout the game, but we just couldn't score really. Just one of those games. They only had one shot on target, and that was from Martial's goal. Good finish, but frustrating not to win that one. We then had a League Cup game against Huddersfield, having had an early one against Sheffield Wednesday. And then we played Crystal Palace, went 1-0 behind, but then Luke Hayward equalised in the 80th minute. He's one of our new signings, but I showed him to you last time. And then we won 1-0 against Fulham with Galbraith scoring an absolute beauty. It was a phenomenal strike from him. And he was really good after that point in the game. He didn't have the greatest start to the game. It was kind of okay. After that point, after he scored, he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant performance from him. So very good to see that as well. If we then have a quick look at the transfer history. So, as you can see, we'd got up to Alex Lorenzo from Phoenix for 525 million. We then actually did manage to sell, he's not appeared yet, but we have managed to sell Tashan Oakley Booth. That's because the transfer is not going through for another window. But he's joining Minnesota United on the 1st of January in 2027. I assume the MLS window must have been shut when they bid for him. But I struggled all summer to offload him, and then suddenly saw that there was minor interest from Minnesota United on a transfer as well, rather than just the loans that I was getting offered. So I offered him out for £4 million. They gave me 3, and given I didn't have to do any of his wages for that, I was happy to let him go. And we actually used that money to sign Ivan Dont, who we'll have a quick look at here. He came from Club Brugge for 7 million, of which only 1 million or so was up front. And then 12, that could rise to 12.5 million. And if you look at him, not great at finishing, but outside of that, he looks very promising. Actually, I suppose he's not got great composure, decisions, anticipation. But the rest of his technicals that are relevant to being a winger are very nice. His physicals are pretty nice, and he's got flair. He's also got okay off the ball, decent vision. So he's a Premier League standard player who could improve a lot, so that's certainly a good sign. And in his appearances so far, he's got 1 goal, 0 assists, and an average rating of 6.97. So he's basically in on, I think it was £1 million up front, and then about £6.5 million of instalments, with some money after he's played 50 games. Very happy I did manage to get him through the door. It was a deadline day deal with only a few hours left, because Tashan Oakley Booth only went that late in the window. But very glad to have him, because he's a lot better than Patrick Roberts, who we have actually not offloaded him, but we've sent him out on loan to Crewe. So sad that we didn't get £6.5 million for him from Legia Warsaw. So thanks for that, Patrick. You're now a 2-star player, struggling in League One with 1 goal in 6 games and an average rating of 6.82. It's very frustrating we didn't manage to sell him for any real money. And actually, we would have sold him for more money than he's ever gone for in total, if you're not including loans. So it's a real shame that we didn't manage to offload him, because he was okay for us last season. 2 goals and 7 assists in 43 games, but he was never going to be a Premier League standard player, and so it's a shame that he didn't go. But he is now on loan at Crewe and suffering for his decision not to go to Poland, or maybe he's happy to be in England. I don't know. Anyway, let's head straight into the first game against United. Today's lineup sees a couple of changes, with Garnacho out due to ineligibility against his parent club. That means that Ivan Don starts on the left-hand side with Hansen Aaron on the right. Despite a good performance in the last couple of weeks from Luke Hayward, Cole Whelan, I think, is the better pick for this game, just because of his tendencies as a pressing forward will be good for trying to nick the ball off United at the back. We've then got a standard midfield and a pretty standard defence, although recently I've been playing Brett Powell over Lucas Noche. Even though Noche is probably slightly better, I think I want to get Powell up to a world-class level, and even though he's technically still a championship player, I think, he's 3-star for us, he has been absolutely phenomenal recently. He's averaging about a 7.4 in his last 5 games or last 6 games. He's just been very, very good. So he'll feel hard done by these not in today's starting lineup. But I thought perhaps a bit more experience of Lucas Noche would be good against United, who have the usual lineup for them, really. Memphis Depay appears to have returned to United. He must be very old now. And then Varane still starting in the centre of defence. Scott McTominay sadly still starting for United. I really hope that doesn't happen in real life. And also David De Gea as well. I'm not a huge fan of these days, so I would hope that he won't be playing on our team by 2026. Anyway, also likes of Pessina and Madueke, and Santiago Romano, who is a left-back / central midfielder from Argentina that I quite like the look of, and looks like he's going to improve a lot. Would have been available for £6 million, but of course had no interest in joining a team that had just got promoted, which is a bit of a shame. But we have to deal with that. United are reaping the rewards of his time there. I think he's been decent so far, and he's only going to improve even more. So let's hope he's not too good today, and let's hope that United are not too impressive. They did, of course, beat us in the FA Cup final not too long ago, so it won't be an easy game by any stretch. And of course, we are the underdogs, even though we're at home. Warburton looks to have picked up some kind of knock, but seems to be okay, and is performing okay as well at a decent level. He is one of our best players, and he often shows that in games. Well, it's 0-0 at half-time. We have actually been the better team. It's been a good performance from the lads. Hopefully we can nick a goal as well we've really dominated this game. They've had no shots on target, very few shots in total. But of course, we are playing against a top team, so the chances are they will nick a goal from nothing. And there we go. First shot on target, goal for United. What a surprise. It's unfortunate for us, but that's the way of Football Manager sometimes. You just play these big teams, and even if you control it, all it takes is one moment for them. I think we'll get Ethan Galbraith off. He's not had his best game, and he's also not very fit right now. Ooh. Perhaps what we'll do is put Lucas Noche into midfield and get Brett Powell on. Kuzmanovic on the right, and I think we're going to have to take off Drew Warburton. He is our best player, I think, perhaps Stanijevic, but he's just not really in the right level of fitness right now to continue in this game, which is a shame. Come on, lads. We've controlled this game. We don't deserve to lose here, so let's try and nick a goal. We'll go attacking now. Probably a bit risky, and we probably will get countered, but and even Dont's now injured. Brilliant. Wonderful. And we've made all our subs. So we're probably not going to win this game now, or not even win it, not even draw it. But that's a frustrating one. Hopefully Dont isn't out for too long. Here we go though. Rebchuk throws it in for Brett Powell. Oh my goodness, we've nicked it back. Kuzmanovic. Late goal from the man with 4 finishing. And what a performance it's been. Unlucky not to win today against United. Went down to 10 men and still got a brilliant late equaliser for ourselves. This team doesn't ever let adversity get in its way, at least so far in the Premier League. We're currently 8 games in and we're sitting in 3rd place, only 2 points off the lead. This team has something about it. And very happy with that result. How long's Dont out for? 4 weeks, that's a shame. But at least Garnacho will be available. Lorenzo also injured, so we're slightly short on winger options now. But let's hope that won't cause any long-term issues. Exciting news in that we have now had our youth facilities upgraded, so that means we have excellent youth facilities. Our youth level's still only 2. I thought Did I not request that? Let me have a look and we'll come back and see. Hey, what it looks like, we'll still need to increase the youth level if we want to have better players coming through the youth system, because it's still there. I don't know quite how that's happened. I'm hoping that all it will take is just, yes, we'll improve it when that happens. I don't know, we're still a little bit in the red. I reckon a couple more months and we'll be able to ask, because we are making some good profit each month. And yeah, even with all the transfers we made, we've only lost 7 million total, so actually we're going to be doing fine. What's our projection like as well? Yeah, so end of the season we should have 12 million and going up to 42.78 million in a couple of seasons if we don't have any, big wins in terms of trophies or top 4 or anything like that. So a couple of players who missed out on that last game, including Brett Powell, who will obviously have felt hard done by, have now come back into the team. So that means that Noche drops onto the bench. He might come on in midfield at some point in this game. Garnacho's returned after being ineligible, and Luke Hayward starts up front after an okay performance by Cole Whelan, but just one that did the job really. Now Luke Hayward has a chance to stake his claim as our starting striker certainly for the smaller games and possibly for the future in general, to be honest. Whether he'll do that or not, I don't know. We'll have to see. But he's made a decent enough start when he's not been injured, which sadly has been most of the time. He's had quite a lot of misfortune with injuries so far. He came back from one injury, then got injured for 6 weeks. And then the one game that I would have played him in right at the start of the season, because I didn't want to mess with the dynamics too much at that point. He then got injured the day before, so that slightly ruined that plan. Thankfully, he's now coming in and doing a bit better again. So that's Daka in behind. Good finish. Very nice goal from Leicester, but not great from us in terms of our defending and pressing and everything. Straight away, though, there is a chance. Whether that's for us or them, I don't know. Let's hope it's for us. Lots of passing around the back here. Oh, that's poor from Galbraith. He just passed it straight to him. And Daka's in behind again. And this time Savin is there. It's a brilliant save. Daka looks dangerous, though. He's so fast. Not nice to defend against at all. Maybe he'll be one we'll have to look at. I don't know. He's probably quite old, or 28 or something. I know, crazy, but this is Football Manager, and we don't use players that are that old at this level, unless we have to, I suppose, or if they're club legends. But ignore me, I'm waffling. And a corner for Leicester with Vucevic sending it in, and Ndidi's there to head home. So far, it's been our worst performance of the season. Leicester really controlling this game. We've not really been at the races. Not quite sure why that's been the case, but, sometimes it happens. You're bound to have a few off days, particularly when you're a championship standard team playing in the Premier League. Warburton, though, on the left-hand side. Can we get straight back into it? We can. That's a great ball from Warburton. Hayward on the hand to score. Slipping under the keeper. Really good cross and a good run from Hayward. Let's hope we can build on that. It is our first shot on target. Come on, we need a bit more from the boys for the rest of the game, but that's certainly a promising sign. Garnacho's rhythm looks to have been somewhat disrupted by that game out. We need to shoot, basically. I don't know if that actually will affect the instructions at all, but certainly I want the boys to just try and get a few more shots on goal. Oh, it's poor pass from Hayward. Warburton, though, able to pick up the pieces and finds Hansen Aaron with a good pass. He passes it back, trying to find White, but Barnes was there. Wasn't great from Hansen Aaron, that. And Daka in behind again, but that time blocked out by Katanic. Now Vucevic sending in another corner, this time headed away. Gets it back though, and that's a good header from Garnacho to get it out. Still Leicester controlling the game. We've not really had many shots on target at all. Obviously we had that goal, and that's about it. Thankfully we've now had one more. But Garnacho's having an absolute stinker out there. I think we might need to get him off, to be honest. He's just not performing on his usual level. Get Kuzmanovic on after his match levelling performance last time. It's a bit of a shame having to do that because there are other players who are a bit more tired. Callum White, I think, will come off for Mengi. And who should we get on elsewhere? Galbraith not having a good game. Not really sure I want to be playing. I guess what I'll do is put Stanijevic on the right. And we'll get Simon Evans in to the midfield. I don't know if Stanijevic, presuming he's a winger more than or an advanced playmaker. We'll play him as an advanced playmaker then. No, actually I don't like that. Let's have him as a winger. That way we have one winger, one inverted winger, a bit more balance. Ted Mengi getting some of his first minutes of the season. He has played a couple of times, but he is really our fourth choice centre back and our second choice or third choice right back. Warburton, though, certainly showing that he's a very, very good left back this season. Really enjoying having him in the team. It's nice to be able to trust your fullbacks because even though White's stats or attributes aren't the most amazing in the division, he just generally plays pretty well. He's not supposed to be consistent, but he's generally been very consistent for us. Oh, it's a phenomenal save from Savin. What a save. Brilliant keeping. And now it's time to go attacking, and we'll encourage the boys as well. Let's try and get another late equaliser. I think we need to go very attacking now, given that we are still behind with not long to go. And I don't think it's going to happen at this rate. Sadly, we have our first loss of the season. But we'll be positive because, you know, the boys, they certainly tried coming back into it. They did some good stuff. And it's a shame that we finally lost this season. But it was bound to happen eventually. Hopefully it's not the sign of a downturn in form, but we are playing some pretty big teams over the next few weeks. We've got Chelsea and Arsenal, then Brighton and Newcastle, both of whom are doing very well. Well, Brighton were top of the league not all that long ago. Now they're behind us. Maybe I think they just had lots of 1-0 wins or 2-1 wins and things like that. So if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel as it really helps me out. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day.